I dreaded growing up. It was just like, I want to stay a little girl forever and ever.
I was fat and I was the smallest kid in class. Never could be the biggest kid. I was always the smallest kid.
I was the turtle of the flock. I was always the late developer. Everybody else was getting breasts and they had their period and they were going out with boys and stuff, and I was all by myself.
I had a huge overbite. I had glasses and braces. That's like, this is me in grade 7. It was horrible.
Once I started to grow up, I was kind of glad that I had and that I was going to, because it's something different and you look at life differently, and it's kind of exciting.
Changes keep falling like sunshine, like rain. I know I'll never be the same. Everyone tells me I'm gonna change. They say, don't worry when I feel strange.
I'm kind of excited,
Sort of perplexed.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
Changes keep falling like the sunshine, like the rain. I know I'll never be the same.
Puberty. That's the time when we grow, we mature. It happens to all of us. If you could describe in one word what puberty meant to you, what would that word be? Yeah, Eddie?
Changes.
Yeah, and those changes made me excited. Well, most of the time. What about you, Blue?
Well, I felt a lot of different things. I guess I was pretty excited about growing up. I was really excited about going to all those parties. I was looking forward to that. But I was a little nervous, too, because all the older kids kept telling me how hard school was on them. How'd you feel about it, Barbara?
Yeah, I had mixed emotions. I guess everybody does. But then, I also remember noticing the first changes in my body and thinking, hey, all the right things are starting to happen. I'm gonna be a woman. What about you guys? What are some of the things that you're looking forward to about growing up? Yeah, Louis.
Your voice could change and go deeper. It would be neat.
Great. Mickey, what's something you're looking forward to?
Menstruation.
Menstruation. Yeah.
Angela.
Parties.
Looking forward to the parties. Leslie.
Staying out late. Getting my own sports car.
What kind of sports car you gonna get?
I want a Porsche or a Corvette.
It's got taste.
Is that okay for you, Lou?
No, Volkswagen.
Okay, those are some of the things you're looking forward to. Now, what are some of the things you're not looking forward to? I mean, what kinds of things worry you?
Nelson.
Being short.
Right.
Going out with boys.
Anyone in particular there, Jimmy?
No.
Andrew.
Getting fat.
Mickey, what are you worried about growing up?
Being bossed by my parents.
Oh,
What about you, Josh?
High school homework.
I know. Well, most of you have mixed feelings about it all. Part of growing up is all the changes that start happening in your body. Like Barbara said, that can be very exciting. It can make you feel very powerful, like you're ready to take the world by storm. But then there's the other possibility, that you might not like all the changes that are happening to your body. You may start to wonder if you're normal. So let's talk about the changes that happen in puberty. We have to start on the inside.
Hey, what's going on? That's my head.
It all starts here, in a part of the brain called the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus starts releasing chemicals called hormones, and they travel through the blood to the pituitary gland. They deliver a message that it's time for puberty.
The pituitary gland takes the hint and starts manufacturing its own hormones. Once these hormones reach a girl's ovaries, It's the signal for the tiny ova, the egg cells, to start developing.
And in a boy, it's the signal for the testicles to begin producing sperm. You need sperm and ova to make a baby. So puberty is the body's way of preparing to be a mother or a father.
The male sex hormone is testosterone. The female sex hormone is estrogen. These hormones cause some of the obvious changes in your body, like hair under your arms and pubic hair around your sexual organs.
You can suddenly get taller. A boy's voice might get deeper. A boy will probably first notice that his penis and testicles are getting bigger.
Could you mention something about size?
Penises are like noses. They come in all shapes and sizes, circumcised or not. And just like noses, the size and shape doesn't matter at all. They're all normal.
And the same is true for girls' breasts. Any size and shape is normal. A girl's hips widen, and her menstrual cycle begins.
A boy's chest and shoulders get broader, and eventually he has to start shaving.
Your face might get oily, and that could cause pimples.
You might have to take more showers, because these hormones can even change the way you smell.
Something else that's part of growing up is masturbation. That's the touching and exciting of your own sexual organs. Not everyone masturbates. If you do, that's okay. If you don't, that's okay too.
Puberty is the time when your feelings change. And you might develop enormous crushes. Sometimes sexual, sometimes not. Perhaps on rock stars, maybe on your teacher or your best friend. It's lucky all the changes don't happen at once. Puberty takes years, and it starts at different times for different people.
For girls, it can start as early as 8 or as late as 18.
And for boys, it's anywhere between 10 and 18.
There's a stranger and she's walking inside my clothes.
Wherever I'm going, nobody knows.
Walking into walls with my 2 left feet. Looking in the mirror makes my knees go weak.
Changes keep falling like the sunshine, like the rain. I know I'll never be the same.
I couldn't wait. I just thought I was abnormal because I was late. I just wanted my period so bad, and I'd pray, please make it tomorrow, you know.
Well, when I was 10, I was starting to develop breasts, and my hips were getting bigger, and it was like, you know, all the other girls around me were still, you know, just like little girls, and I felt very abnormal.
I got my period when I was 12, and I was shocked because I thought, oh, no, it's not going to happen to me, it's not going to happen to me, and everybody else was getting it, and I hadn't got it, and I thought, oh, good, maybe it's just going to pass. But, and then one day I got it, and I just went, Mom! But I wasn't, like, I was scared at the beginning, but it was fine.
Menstruation is the scientific name for a girl's period. And the first one usually happens about a year after the breasts begin to develop. And the first sign of menstruation is a small amount of blood or tissue that comes out of the vagina. You might find that scary or embarrassing at first, but it's also exciting. You're growing up. Here's what happens inside a girl's body. When she is anywhere from 8 to 18 years old, there's no best time. Her menstrual cycle begins. Every month, a tiny ovum, or egg, leaves an ovary and enters a fallopian tube,
which is a passageway leading to her uterus. At the same time, the soft lining of the uterus is getting thicker and ready for the egg. The uterus is where a baby grows. If she's not having a baby, the egg and the lining, which is made up of blood and tiny pieces of tissue, aren't needed, so they leave the body through the vagina. This is called menstruation, and it happens about once a month. It lasts from 2 to 8 days. Each girl is different.
You may find when you first start having your period that it takes a little while for your body to get used to it. And that means you may miss a period for a month or 2, maybe even 6 months. Or sometimes you'll have a heavy flow, sometimes you won't. But eventually your body will find its own rhythm. Everyone is different. Janine, right in the back row there, do you have a question?
What protects the period?
All you have to do is wear a pad or perhaps a tampon if you're going swimming. And they absorb the menstrual flow. Pads fit really closely to your body and they don't show. And tampons fit right inside the vagina. Your mother or your school nurse can help you choose the best kind for you and show you how to use it. Mickey, you've got a question.
Like, does it feel like when you're going to the washroom, or does it just come out like you don't know when it does?
Well, you can't usually feel the blood coming out because it's such a small amount. And it doesn't mean you can't do all of the things you usually do, as long as you feel like it. Yeah, Louis, what were you wondering?
How does it feel when you're going through the stages? Like,
when you're menstruating?
Yeah.
Well, many girls feel nothing at all. There's no discomfort. Sometimes some people, myself included, get cramps. Now, if any of you feel that way, you might find that a hot water bottle on your stomach helps. You just have to be careful it's not too hot. Or a walk, or some kind of exercise can help you relax.
If it's your first time and you have it at school, it would be kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, I remember being worried about that. It seemed to me it would be such an embarrassing thing to happen. But you know, it really isn't.
You can tell the teacher.
Tell the teacher? Yeah?
Or the janitor.
You know, actually, Louis brought up a really good point, because, you know, we all think, oh, Lord, how can I speak to somebody like that? All you have to do is tell your teacher, your school nurse, your counselor, and they'd be happy to help you, and they won't think anything about it. After all, half the people in the world menstruate.
Well, I thought that I was the only girl in the whole entire world that had my period, and I didn't quite think that anyone else would be going through it. And then a while goes by and you realize so-and-so has theirs and someone else has theirs. Oh, it's not so bad, and you realize that everyone else has got it and that it's just a part of life.
When we look back, what will we see?
Could that be you?
And was that me?
Changes keep falling like sunshine, like rain.
Evan, I was swimming with a bunch of my friends at a pool, and I got an erection in the pool, and everybody was like, "Oh, look what he's got!" They're making fun of it. And I was, it was embarrassing.
You'd be dancing with a girl, and you get an erection, and you just, it's so embarrassing, you know. Start dancing a little farther apart.
Changes keep falling like the sunshine, like the rain.
When boys get to puberty, the hormones are working a lot harder. Boys can often get erections. That's when the penis gets harder and bigger. Now, it can happen because of an exciting thought, maybe a sexual thought, or sometimes it just happens. And it's very normal. Also, during puberty, boys can get what are called wet dreams. You see, the testicles are always making sperm, and in a wet dream, semen with sperm in it comes out of the penis while you're sleeping. And when you wake up, there's a wet spot, then you wonder what just happened to you. But I'm saying that that's a very natural process for boys. Everyone in the world goes through that. It's healthy. It's just the body's way of making room for new sperm cells.
I was really young when I had my first wet dream, and was embarrassing. Like, I didn't want to tell my mom. That was like taboo, no. Because, like, mom wouldn't understand, right? So then, like, I didn't tell no friends because I didn't want to get laughed at. Like, people would think that you're weird or something, right? Like, when you're young like that. So that was out. So then I just told my dad, and my dad was like, chuckle, laugh. And he don't worry about it. He said, it's just fact of life. So from that time on, that's what I thought about it, so.
Changes keep falling like the sunshine, like rain. I know I'll never be the same.
Some of you will grow faster than others, and some of you will just take your time. Now, if you're behind everyone, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Just tell yourself this. You're a gourmet dinner, slowly simmering to perfection.
Well, I was one of the first girls in my class to grow breasts, and that was in grade 4. So I took a lot of teasing about that. But you know, I was glad that I was growing up.
Instead of a nose, they gave me a beak. Got a different voice every time I speak.
Am I doing all right? Is anything wrong?
I'm going so fast, but it's taking so long.
Changes keep falling like sunshine, like rain. I know I'll never be the same. I'm getting all lumpy, and I know that it shows.
Sometimes I blush right down to my toes.
I'm growing up, that's just how it goes.
Today I'm the bud, soon
The rose. Changes keep falling like sunshine, like rain. I know I'll never be the same.